Hey guys, it's Jono from G4 Guitar Schools here. So, just gonna give you guys a quick tip on your chords, okay? So there's been seeing a lot, and this is very common for beginners and beginner guitarists of all ages. It's just making sure our chords are nice and clean, all right? And keeping those fingers up on their fingertips. Okay, so a big one that we find is the C chord. Okay, so that's when we put our first finger, first fret on the second string, second finger, second fret on the fourth string, and third finger, third fret on the fifth string. So what I need you guys to do is make sure you keep them up on their fingertips. Okay, so you need to bend those fingers around. So bend in that little part of the finger there, like the not the knuckle, whatever that part of the finger's called. All right, so just make sure you bend those fingers right around. So I'm going to just go side on here, so you can see how my fingers are nicely bent up on their fingertips and getting up on the strings there. All right, we've got minimal wrist bend. So if you're finding that you're bending them around like that to get them up on the fingertips, that's incorrect and you're going to damage your wrist. We don't want that. So you need to keep that wrist just nicely behind the guitar and get those fingers right up on their fingertips, alrighty? And just to make sure that you're getting that nice sound on the C chord, just go from the fifth string down and just go one string at a time like this. All those notes should ring out in the C chord. So when you strum it, you're going to get that nice sound of the C chord. Now, if you're getting something like this, and they're getting those dead sort of notes, that's because you're either not pushing down firm enough or your fingers are touching other strings on the guitar. Okay, so another common thing is when students are sitting down, the guitar is going down on an angle like this, and you've got it up on your right leg and you're going down. So make sure you're sitting properly with the guitar up on your left leg, that cutout part of the guitar sitting in between on your left leg, and the body is sitting in between your left and your right leg, getting up on a nice angle like my guitar is sitting as I'm standing up. The other option is if you've got a guitar strap, especially those students on the electric guitar, put a guitar strap on and get it on that 45-degree angle like my guitar is sitting on me now. And that's going to help get those fingers around the guitar a lot easier. The more angle, the better and easier it is to get your hand around the neck, okay? So more of an angle, the more angle it's on, the better, all right? And that's just gonna help your fingers. So keep them right up on their fingertips and get all those notes sounding nice and clean. Now, if your finger, just say your first finger on that C note, the C note there on the second string, just say you got that sort of dead sound, just push a little bit firmer and then it will ring out, okay? So the key thing is to keep those fingers nice behind the frets as well. So what we don't want is going back towards the other way or in the middle of the fret. What we want to do is get right behind the frets. That way you won't need to push down as firm and the sound will be consistent every time. Alrighty, so getting that in there. Alright, so I'll leave you with that one to practice, just getting those nice sounding notes in that C chord. So remember, keep those fingers up on their fingertips and and make sure that every note is sounding out nice and cleanly. A good thing to practice just to get that C chord nice and clean, pop a metronome on, about 50 to 60 beats a minute, play your C chord on one beat, and then tap your leg with that same hand on the other beat, and get back up to the C chord, tap, tap, and making sure you're getting that C chord changing nice and quick and getting it clean every time. If you're not getting it clean, make sure that your fingers are right on those notes every time. Get them nice and clean, give it a strum, and happy days. Alrighty? Cool. So the other thing we're going to look at is getting some changing happening. So finding that getting to that C chord is quite a bit of a struggle. I know when I first learnt guitar, I struggled with the C chord as well. It is a tricky chord, so be patient with yourself and just keep practicing it. So we're going to do one of my all-time favourite things to do when practicing going to the C chord is playing a song by the Monkees. Alright, so we're going to have a bit of fun being a monkey and playing the Monkees song I'm a Believer, because I believe all you guys who are watching can get this C chord and get these changes. So I'm a Believer, the chorus is literally just your G chord. You're going to strum that twice. So that's the third finger, first string on the 3rd fret, second finger, 3rd fret on the 6th string, and first finger, 2nd fret on the A string, or on the 5th string. So we've got that G chord there. So 3rd finger, 1st string, 3rd fret, 2nd finger, 6th string, 3rd fret, and 1st finger, 5th string on the 2nd fret. And we're going to strum that G chord twice, and then go to the C chord and strum that twice, and back to the G chord, and then back to the C chord. And all I want you to do is just get that change happening, nice and smooth. So 2 strums in each, G, G, C, C, G, G, C, C, and again. Alright, so I want you to practice that with a metronome. Get that up, get that nice and solid at like 60 beats a minute, and then slowly speed your way up so you get this. Alright, it's a lot of fun. Just keep at it, nice and slow, getting that G and C. Just practice that movement, alright? Main things to remember, keep those fingers up on their fingertips. Make sure every string is ringing out for that chord, okay? Don't bend the wrist too much, bend the fingertips. It's all in those fingertips, bend them around, okay? So if you bend your wrist too much, you're gonna hurt it and you're gonna do some damage. We don't want that. We want you to be able to play guitar for forever and for a long time at any one time. So, so what I need you to do is make sure you bend those fingers around on the guitar neck. Get them on their fingertips, okay? And yeah, just make sure that you keep that guitar on that 45-degree angle with the neck 45 degrees to the ground or a wider angle. That way you're going to put less stress on your wrist and you'll be able to get those fingers up on those fingertips a little bit more. Hope that tip helps. Keep rocking out, keep practicing. If you've got any questions, ask in the comments box below or speak to your teacher or send us a message. We'll talk to you soon.